to business and making sure that you know what you need to turn in. What are you making? What's the file look like when you turn it in? You should have already gone through the learning the basics about color theory. You should know something about color schemes and color combinations. You've gathered your photographs. You've gone through and you've made your contact sheet and your artboard, and you're loading it. You've loaded it onto the Photoshop contact sheet number 1. You've relabeled your contact sheets. One thing that probably you will want to adjust is the spacing of your contact sheets. I like to give myself a little bit of room to move your contact sheets around. You make sure you have the move tool selected and you deselect the auto select button, and that will allow you to go up and pick your different contact sheets and scoot them around a little bit. So you can see here I'm going to the different layers of the contact sheets, and I can move them around just to give a little bit of space. That way the name of the contact sheet isn't overlapping on each other. Assignment asks you, in addition to experimenting with each of the adjustment layer options, that's these things that are listed here: gradients, color, select color, black and white, photo filters. In addition to showing how to do adjustment layers, it says please make sure that you demonstrate the following color theory concepts in your projects. Make sure to label each of the images. So I want to make sure that you understand these concepts as well as these tools in Photoshop. So I want to make sure that you have a full range of values in an image. You've made a high key and low key image. You've used the grading adjustment layers with analogous and complementary colors. You have a polychromatic, monochromatic, and achromatic image, and you have warm and cool colors. These video links here will show you how to do those things. So this is a really great video by Aaron Nace, who teaches you how to use adjustment layers. That can be found over here on the windows on the right hand side. He will walk you through how to use those different adjustment layers. You can see here I've applied one to this photo already. And you want to make sure that you've put all of your black and white experiments on this page, and you're going to label them. So here is I'm going to use this text tool. I can go over here and I can make the font a little bit smaller. Again, I'm using this text tool, and then I can call this a low-key black and white image with the black and white adjustment layer. So I'm labeling the photographs, and then I can use the move tool to kind of move those around. And you can see that on this artboard right here, I've got the image itself, I've got the adjustment layer, and I have the text listed above it. You'll put 3 or 4 images on your page, and then on this page, in addition to the photographs, I actually want you to take a screenshot of the layers to show me that you have actually made these in Photoshop and not on your phone or not some other kind of AI tool, but you've actually done the work in Photoshop. So I'm going to screenshot that. On a Mac, that is Shift-Command-4, and then I'll just come over here, and on this, it makes a screenshot, and I'm going to drag and drop that screenshot layer onto the document, resize it. I would do this screenshot after I've adjusted these. I haven't changed these at all. So once I have all of these with the adjustment layers and the text labeled, you'll take a screenshot of this, and so that layers palette will be probably as long as this space allows for it to be. While you're watching Aaron Nace's video about the different adjustment layers that exist over here, you might want to think about then what photos would best work for those different layers. So for those different adjustments. So for instance, this pink image, maybe I want to actually turn that pink image blue. So I'll work with it on the select color or hue and saturation adjustment layers. So you'll go through and you're gonna complete each of these pages, each of these artboards with different pieces of artwork. When you get to the mix and match, you're going to use several different techniques on one photo and put a before and after. You'll do the same thing on the levels before and after. So for instance, if you have a photograph that is a little bit dark or a little bit washed out, I have one here. This one's just a little bit washed out. So I'll resize the image here. I can actually, to duplicate this image, it's pretty cool. I can just take this and drag it to this little plus sign. That will duplicate the layers so that we can do that. You can also hold the Options key down and drag off of the image as long as you have the Move tool. Again, you hold the Options key down and then you can just drag and it will make a new one. So here, this image is a little bit dull. It's a little washed out. I could apply an adjustment layer to that and label it the before and after image. You can see my mix and match before and after. I have my final image. I've labeled it after editing. Here's my original image, and here's a screenshot of my entire layers of my artboard. I can see the finished, the larger image that's here to the left with all of the mix and match of different adjustment layers that I've added to that. I put a second image of the original here, and here's my text layers indicating which one is which. So I just want to mention one more time that I want to make sure that you are showing me that you understand the color theory concepts that we've learned at the beginning of the unit when you went through this, or maybe you already know the color theory content and you can already just go ahead and apply it. So I want you to make sure that you label your documents. So I'll just tell you now that this image, I would consider this a polychromatic image. So I want to make sure that I'm coming in here and labeling that image according to the color theory concept that you've applied. So just make sure that you do that on those files. Once you've done that, I haven't finished my project here, but you can see how I have started to put those things together. We are going to then, when you're all finished, we need to actually export your file as a PDF document so that you can turn it into the assignment. So to do that, you'll go to File, Export, and you'll go down here to Artboards to PDF. You want to make sure that you give your file your full name so that I know that it's yours, and you'll title it the Photo Adjustment Layers. You want to include overlapping areas just in case something strange happened. You want to make sure that you're creating a multi-page document you're encoding the images as a JPEG, and you're going to include the artboard name. You can pick a font. I'm just going to pick Helvetica 12 point. You can make it whatever you want. And then we're going to make the canvas white, and then you hit run. And it will go through and automatically export those files. And then you'll notice here on your desktop, there should be a file with your file name, and it's a PDF. You want to definitely open it up, and you'll see that on page 1, it's given the name of the artboard. This is a contact sheet. Here's your contact sheets. here's the black and white experiments, and then, these will all be filled in with your work. And this is the document that you attach to the assignment.